Hello everybody. We've finished the first week of the course and we're now getting into Plato and virtue. And I've also set up the group, so I want to do a short video to talk about where we're at. All right, first of all, in the first week, I want to tell everybody how much I appreciate that everybody got their surveys done. I read all the surveys and I really want to tell you how much I enjoyed the brain charts. Listening to your voice, give the answers to the readings gave me so much more of a feeling of what you were saying than I think I would have gotten from text. I could hear, either the strength of your point or the fact that you were kind of weighing two different things, or I could feel the emotion behind the point that you were making in a way that I just wouldn't have with text. So I really appreciated that, and I liked all the brain charts. Um, all right, now the next thing is I want to talk about the groups that I've established. Now remember, these groups are the groups that are going to be responsible for developing the building of personal philosophy questions at the end of each module. I've done the module for um, Plato. I've created the questions for Plato as kind of a model for what you're going to do, and also because I knew it would take a little time for the class to get going and groups to form. So I've done the one for this week, but starting next week with Dewey, we're going to have a group of 3 students write the questions that the class is going to respond to in the building of personal philosophy. I've created 2 new links on D2L to help with this. They're both over here on the right, and the first one lists the people who are responsible for different modules, and the second one is a discussion area for those groups of people to get together and discuss things in addition to the discussions you'll have using live Google Hangouts. All right, so first let me show the group leaders. Now I have figured out the whole semester, but I've only posted the first 4 weeks, and that's to give me a little latitude to see how things are going and see if we should make an adjustment for the last 4 groups. And I've emailed the first 2 groups already since they're coming up in a week or 2, and I wanted to email them directly. Group 3 is Ken, Christine, and Lauren. Group 4 is Becky, Joe, and Matt. I want to show you a few other things about this spreadsheet I've created. It has the module that you're doing. It has the date and time that your group is expected to go on Google Hangouts to discuss how you can develop good questions. This is based on the answer that you gave to the Google survey you did about when you would be available. Now it is possible that something's going to come up, there's going to be a conflict, so hopefully that won't happen, and hopefully you'll be able to put this on your calendar and reserve this time to make sure you get together. But that's another reason I've got a link to a discussion board. So if the group needs to make an adjustment, maybe you can find a way to contact each other, text each other, use the Google discussion board to make some plans about when you're going to get online if it isn't the designated time. But I do want to emphasize you've all said this is the time you could get together, and so please try to do that for the benefit of the other people in the group who likely will be their best time. I've got the degree program that you're in, so that might give you an idea of where your group members might be coming from. I've got the Gmail address. Now that's really important because when you invite each other to be part of a Google Hangout, you're going to do that by using the Gmail address to invite. All right? And that also brings up this little asterisk that I have here for Andrew, Matt, Marshall, Ken, and Becky. They're going to be the person that's going to invite the other 2 people to the Google Hangout. You got that honor because in the Google survey you admitted that you had done Google Hangouts before, so I put the experienced person in charge. The other people are going to have to make sure they understand Google Hangouts and look at the materials that I've got posted on D2L ahead of time. And most importantly, in order to use Google Hangout, there's a plugin that goes with your browser that you're going to have to install. So go in and, as if you're getting into a Google Hangout, like try to start one, and it will prompt you to do the plugin. Get the plugin loaded up ahead of your group meeting time so that when you get the invite, you can reply and join the video conference. Last thing I've got over here is a direct link to your brain chart. Now you could easily search this on D2L, but I thought I'd make it nice and convenient. And the reason is the brain charts are so good. I think that if you watch each other as brain sharks before you get together, it's going to be a nice introduction to each other and kind of help you understand where the other person might be coming from before you even start planning together. It's going to be critical to the course that the groups really try to make good questions will engage the other folks in the class. So getting to know each other is going to be part of that process. All right. The other link that I've added is a link so that you can do group planning together. And if I click this, you'll see I've got the first 4 created here. If you click it, you're only going to see one of these if you're in one of these 4 groups. If you're not in these 4 groups, you won't see anything. I've restricted the conversation to just the group members. So you have kind of a private area. Of course, I can see it. A private area where you can do some planning besides Google Hangouts. All right. The last thing I want to do in this video is talk about Plato and give you a couple tips to help you understand Plato. First thing is Plato is somewhat frustrating for some people to read because Plato has a certain way of writing that might feel like he's tricking you. So what you've got to understand with Plato is he proposes different ideas to solve his problem that he's working on, his question that he's working on. And through dialogue demonstrates why that idea is not the right idea. So he's kind of a process of elimination, but as you're reading it, you feel like, oh, this is the answer, oh, this is the answer, oh, this is the answer, but each time that answer gets shot down. So kind of expect that that's the way the dialogue's going to go. The second thing that I want to say about Plato is I think that's what's more important than what Plato actually says is the dialogue process that Plato uses and understanding how important that is. When you get to the end of the dialogue, he's got this question about can we teach virtue? And at the end of the dialogue, he ends up eliminating the various possibilities that he's come up with and kind of says, well, maybe it's just a gift from the gods, those people that have virtue. But then he asks another question that I'm not going to repeat here. But if you read between the lines, you might wonder whether Plato really meant what he concluded, that it must just be a gift from the gods, or if that was kind of a tongue-in-cheek answer to his question, and that he has a different real answer. And that real answer relates to the whole process of dialogue. Right? So I bring this up because dialogue or process of thinking, it seems so obvious to us, perhaps as Americans, that this is a natural way of solving issues or trying to come up with answers to questions. But we think that way because we've been so influenced by Plato and the Greeks to think that rationality is the solution to problems. So just the way that Plato works on this is the main point of the philosophy that Plato is proposing here. That reasoning and investigation and asking questions is the way to find the answers. All right, again, have enjoyed the first week and look forward to our discussions online in the upcoming week about Plato.